Hello, and it's Friday morning here on the Gold Coast, and it is so cold that I think my nipples are that hard they could cut diamond. It's still quite early in the morning here, so I keep my voice down. I just want to go over the outline for the weekend, the training leading up to the weekend, some of my biggest lessons learned during this block, and some revised goals. Alright, so I'm going down here to do the double. What that means is that tomorrow morning at 6:15 I'll do the half marathon. A few hours after that, at 11:45, I'm going to run the 5K with my 9-year-old nephew, and I'll do the marathon on Sunday at 6:15. Why am I doing the double? Well, in 2024, I thought my training lacked a bit of intensity, so my shortest reps I was doing was 800 meters. I wasn't doing those 2, 4, 600 meter reps, sort of higher intensity, faster sort of efforts, and I'd never trained for a half marathon, so I thought it was a good opportunity to increase the intensity in my training and train for a shorter distance over the half before swapping over when I get back to Darwin and training for a marathon and start to expand the distances of those reps out. Since I was down here anyway, I thought I may as well do the marathon on Sunday as well and drag my nephew down for a sneaky 5 kilometer as well. I'd never done it before, so I thought it was a good challenge. So what did my training look like? So to give you a brief overview from the year, at about March or April, my volume was low. I thought I was getting injured. My hamstrings were getting very tight and I had to pull out of run. So I joined a run group late last year, and we usually run 12, 15 Ks on a Saturday. There were a couple of times there where I'd get to 8 Ks and I'd just have to stop running because I just couldn't get my legs ticking over. So normally with niggles and injuries and things like that, like you can run for a bit and you normally think, well, I normally think that after a kilometre or two, the muscles get warmed up and those niggles go away, but that wasn't the case. Usually in May, I do a fundraiser that involves me running, and so this year and last year I did the 50K in May to raise money for multiple sclerosis. So I thought to myself, if I'm going to be injured and sore anyway, then I'm going to give myself a reason to be injured and sore. So I challenged myself to run 500 kilometers in the month of May, which is a high volume month for me. In order to accommodate all this extra running, I stopped going to the gym and I started to implement double run days. So just a brief overview of May, that started on a Thursday, and from Thursday to Sunday I did 80 kilometers. Then the next week I did 130. The next week after that I did 135, and then I did a 150 kilometer run. Run week. And then the Monday to Saturday was a taper week where I did 61 kilometers, and then I did the city to surf, which was the Sunday. So I hit my 500. I did my 500 kilometer goal. I think I did 556 kilometers for the week. All right, so I learned two very valuable lessons during this training block, in particular the running I did in May. And the first one is that volume is king. So as I mentioned, that Sunday at the end of May, so the first Sunday of June, I did the city to surf in Darwin, and I averaged 4 minutes 19 minute per kilometre pace for that. That's very quick for me. Just to give you context, I'm 6'2" and 100 plus kilos, and it's also 15 seconds per kilometre quicker than my pace that I did last year. Additionally, it's always been a little goal in the back of my mind to be able to cruise around at a sub 5 minute per kilometre pace while still having a heart rate in sort of my zone 2 area, or to make it feel easy, and I was able to do that several times during this training block. There's a couple of runs there. I was doing 10, 15 Ks, and I was just cruising around about 455s for a heart rate of sort of like low to mid 140s. I was happy with my progress. So as I said, I had to quit. I had to quit the gym to accommodate those double run days. I wasn't doing anything hectic on those double run days. Usually just double easy for me. I'm too old to do double threshold days, and it's too hard, and it gets too hot in Darwin. Strategy worked very well until it didn't, and that brings me to my second biggest lesson that I learned, and it's a very simple equation. I'm going to stick to this equation, I think, for the rest of my running journey. And the equation is that a strong cardiovascular system plus a weak muscular system equals injury. So cutting out the leg days came back to bite me hard. So my heart and lungs could deal with in training. In fact, they benefited from all of the extra training. but my poor skinny old chicken legs could not. So recently, so I've barely run in the last 3 weeks. I haven't done any speed work in about 4 to 5 weeks. My volume has been low. I've been getting pops and strains and niggles everywhere. So first it would be my right calf and left hamstring, then it'd be my left calf and my right hamstring. It always seems to revolve around my hamstrings and my calves, not so much my quads or anything else. I've seen a physio for the first time in my life. He assures me that there's no torn muscles, which is good. I even got a massage for the first time in my life. So I'm not 100% close. I'm not 100% leading into these races, not even close, but I've spent my money, I'm here, so I'm going to have a crack anyway. So what are my goals for the weekend? Well, the original goal was to chase a sub 90-minute half marathon. That's not happening. My legs won't allow it. And if I'm being really honest, I don't think I got fit enough to do that anyway. What I'll do, I'll go out and try and chase a sub 95-minute half. My current half PB is about 1:37, so get a couple of minute PB, that'd be nice. For the marathon, this trip was never about coming down to set a blazing marathon, set a good marathon PB or anything. So for me, it's more of an exciting long run, just somewhere, just to run, somewhere to run other than just along Bagot Road or around East Point in Darwin. So my current PB is 3:32.48. And to run out of 3:30 would be pretty good. I'll have a crack, but yeah, I'll see how the legs feel after tomorrow's runs. Also, it would be nice to have a crack at running the double in under 5 hours. So that will be also in the back of my mind as I'm running around. So with my 9-year-old nephew, his 5K PB is 29 minutes and 35 seconds. But again, he did that in Darwin where there's hills. So I think we'll be on for a big PB for him. That's it for me. Probably let's check out some footage from the expo or the race.
Okay, they're about to start right now. Mark's doing the half marathon, and tomorrow he's going to do the Sunday marathon. Yeah, I'm going to do mine at 30 seconds. 30 seconds until it starts. See that?
On your marks. They're off, Pete. They are off and racing in the China Airlines half marathon. Would you look at the speed out the front? Now that the day is over. One of the best sights of the weekend is our start. You can see the blue balloons. Head down paces there as well. Give us a wave as you come past the start line. Good morning to our paces this morning. Yeah, you look amazing. A sea of colour. Athletes from over 50 countries, every state and territory of Australia represented. We love you guys. Give us a wave. Yeah, there you go. Enjoy this. Put a smile on your face as you go across that start line. All right, let's make some noise. 1, 2, 3. Woo! There's the first sign of the day across there. Come on, supporters on the sideline. Let's give them some love as they go across this start line. All 3. 1, 2, 3. That's it, runners. To all our athletes coming across in front of the tower, give us a wave. Let's 1, 2, 3. We can see the green balloon.
Let's go.
Sorry, this will be worse.
Kyle!
I reckon. Yeah. It's the second week. Once we get perfect at the GPS, kicks in.
So fucking hell, man. My back hurt within the first K, and I was just like, I think I can put up with this. Then my calf went like within 3 or 4 Ks. Like it didn't go, but it just started hurting. It's really painful now.
hamstring again, all the way up into my ass, all on my right side. And now that I finished it, my left calf is killing me. I don't know how I'm gonna do this marathon tomorrow. Whatever pace I touched out there, even my slowest K, I'm not gonna go anywhere near it tomorrow. I'm gonna go nice and slow. And if I don't stretch, I'm not gonna be able to do this 5K with Kale, so I better get to stretching. Fucking hell, but 4 minutes 32 a K. After not running for a month, I think I gotta be happy with that. Like, that's a 5 second per kilometer PB. I wanted to go faster, but that's what happens when you get injured and you can't train the way you want to. Oh well, it's always next year, hey Kale?
Yeah.
All right. Ready for your 5K?
Yeah.
All right, I better start.
Nervous.
Kind of nervous? You'll be right, mate. We got this. I better start stretching. Otherwise, I won't be running it with you. How packed is it, Kyle? How packed is it? Pretty packed?
Yeah.
It's hot, eh? Nervous?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, good man. How you feeling, Kyle?
Good.
Good. Not long now. 550 meters. We're nearly at the tunnel. Let's go. You're gonna set a 1K PB and a 5K PB. 350. 350.
Come on, boys!
Nearly so close, mate.
No hat time! Let's do it, buddy!
Here, Carl is looking back at another young boy who is slowly gaining ground on us. I can see the competitive juices flowing as he looks back several times to see where he is, and I know that the Rocky theme song is just playing inside of his head, so I tell him to just take off.
You take off, mate. You take off. And he's off. I can't keep up with him. Hey, Kyle.
Great job today! Come on in, Chris! So cool! The final race of our Super Saturday program. Come on, Ollie! Come back early tomorrow morning. Come on, Ollie! Great job today for Debbie. Chris, come on in. Oh, there's a great view from Southern Cross Uni.
And here come those competitive juices again, all over the footpath.
Out of New South Wales, well done, team.
He doesn't know how to pull back.
Kids, let's go.
I've got a bit of a cold, so excuse the voice. So I didn't actually take any footage of the marathon because it was just so packed. And to be honest, I wasn't actually sure I was going to run it until after the starter gun went. So it's been a bit of time since I did this race, but I do remember my legs being stiff as. But one thing that I wasn't expecting is the DOMs that I was experiencing. So I run quite regularly, so I only get sore legs just from just using them a lot. I don't actually get much DOMs. But after not training much leading into the race and doing the half marathon 5K the day before, they were pretty sore. So as you can see here, I just running, starting out at a pretty conservative pace. I just wanted to take it easy, ease myself into it, even though it did not feel easy. I had a little game with myself where just to try and break it up a bit, I just said no music for the first 10Ks, just get the first 10Ks out of the way, and then I could chuck some music on and sort of just try and finish the thing. There were plenty of people from Darwin hanging around, so I was mostly just trying to hang with them, which is probably why my pace started to speed up a little bit. Um, yeah, I should have in hindsight, I probably should have just stuck with the much slower pace that I had at the beginning of the race. So 10Ks is approaching now, so music's about to be blasted. We keep at this pace, we'll be here all day, so let's speed it up a little bit. Just still holding a steady pace at the moment. Still thinking that a time in the 3:30s is on the card. Here we approach the first turnaround, start heading back towards the start. I just hit the halfway point. The thing about a marathon is when you hit the halfway, you've still got another 21 Ks to go. I do remember feeling the onset of some cramps occurring around here. And I just remember thinking to myself, just make it to 30, make it to 30. I didn't quite make it to 30 Ks, as you'll see here. I started cramping and I slowed right down. Just hit 30 Ks. This is a pretty good part of the course. There's lots of crowd around just cheering you on. I am cramping a fair bit. I'm slowed right down. But this is a bit where it's part of the marathon where you got to dig deep. 10 Ks to go. You just got to push through. The crowds at the Gold Coast Marathon are absolutely amazing, just even throughout the entire course. They definitely get you through. At this point in time, I'm hating this race. I'm in a lot of pain. I just kind of want it to be over. And it's also around this point that you look around and there's people on the ground, there's people in the hands of paramedics. Everyone's feeling the same way. Finally, light at the end of the tunnel. Here is the final turnaround where you turn around and start heading back towards the finish line. So I remember at this point in the race, I knew it was going to be my slowest ever marathon, but I didn't care. And something odd happened to me. I removed all expectations from myself and I was overcome with a great sense of pride and accomplishment. A few tears being shed at this point in time, so lucky I was wearing sunglasses. Yeah, truthfully, I consider myself very lucky. There are plenty of other people in the world who haven't had much tougher time of it than I am, so who am I to get bogged down on some aching legs whilst running a marathon down on the Gold Coast? So it's the day after the marathon, and that means one thing. It means it's Medal Monday. So I've got my medals on, I've got my half marathon, I've got my full marathon, my 5K, and the double. And Kale's got his marathon, his medals on.
Yep.
These aren't coming off 4 days, very proud.
Yeah.
Big PB. Didn't take any footage after the marathon. There's just too many things going on. How many people were there, Kale?
Like 11,000 or something.
Yeah, thousand. You could barely move. So, also I was crying a lot. So let's not talk about that. Didn't hit any of the goals that I set out for, but I don't even care actually. After the half marathon, I wasn't even sure I'd actually get out and run in the marathon. My legs were cooked. I haven't been able to train. They say that a marathon exposes all the flaws in your training, and it definitely exposed my flaws yesterday in terms of not being able to get out on the track and run around a bit. So I definitely lacked some volume and I struggled to the end. So it was my slowest ever marathon. I think I did it in 3 hours 52 minutes at an average pace of 5 minutes 28 per kilometre. So it's my slowest one, but one I'm pretty proud of because as of even up to the starting gun, I wasn't even sure if I would run it. I remember at the start of the marathon, my legs were very stiff. Actually, all weekend my legs have been stiff. It's like I've been running on 2 bits of board. I have no spring in my legs. I set out at about a 5:15 pace, and I thought I could hold that. I've dropped down to low 5s, 5:05, 5:04s for a while. But then after I hit 22, 23 kilometers, the wheels just came off. I ran until I couldn't run anymore, which was at about 29 Ks when I started to stop. I started to cramp. Everything became very hard. As I said, the marathon just exposed my lack of training in the lead up to it. But somewhere around the 32, 33 kilometer mark, I decided to forgive myself and be nice to myself. This trip was always about the half, not the full marathon. Perth Marathon will be my main race. And from that point on, I just went through with the understanding that I just need to finish it. And you couldn't wipe the smile off my face, especially around 38 kilometers, where I didn't put any pressure on time on myself. I just ran until I cramped, and then I walked, and then I ran again, and I just continued that for the final few Ks, and you couldn't wipe the smile off my face. I was so happy with myself to be able to come down and set a small PB in the half marathon, get my nephew to a massive PB in the 5K, and to also just be able to complete a marathon all in the same weekend after being injured, not being able to train, in pain. I was just over the moon. And yeah, if you've never run a marathon, never trained for a marathon, highly recommend give it a crack. You will not regret it. What about you, Kale? Do you have any final words on your race? You want to talk us through how you felt? Or
I'm proud of myself because I was going to vomit at the very start, but I just pushed it through. Then when I got to the very end...
You were the same, weren't you? You didn't even want to run it before.
Yeah, I didn't even want to run it. I was super nervous and I didn't know if I was going to finish it. So I was like super nervous.
Yeah, we set out pretty fast the first K.
Pretty fast.
And then the second K was...
Second K is kind of weird. Then I said it was too easy. Then we just climbed our way out.
Yep.
And I said it's too easy.
Yep.
Then we just gone very fast.
Kilometer 3, kilometer 4, we kept getting faster and faster. And then there was about 500 meters to go.
Yep.
Some boy tried to pass you.
Yep. Then I said nope. Then it has gone full sprinting.
Yep, legged it. I could barely keep up with him. And then what happened? You
Then I
crossed
vomited at the end.
Oh, sorry?
Super proud of myself for doing this.
Yep, so is your dad, so am I.
Mhm.